Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be back. It's been a couple of weeks since I've posted a video. Just been a little bit busy with winter camp, and then also got sick right before Christmas, so that kind of threw out a couple video ideas that I had been planning on doing. So I'll kind of reschedule those a bit. But yeah, since it's the New Year's now, I figured why don't we go over what I'll be doing for 2026. All right, so let's get into the companies I'll be working with for 2026. So a lot of them will be the same, which I'm very fortunate to be working with a lot of great brands already and be able to continue a lot of those partnerships. And I think the big one, if it's not obvious, is well, a little bit of everywhere is going to be ENVE Composites. Been with them now. It'll be my third year working with ENVE, riding the Melee, the MOG, just all the bikes, all the equipment has been so great. I've been extremely blessed to be able to work with them. Um, yeah, just excited to keep that partnership rolling. There's some great stuff on the horizons, really in every discipline in cycling from them, and I think there's a lot of things that people are going to really enjoy, and the demand's going to be extremely high for. So I'm really excited to see what comes from Envy this year, and I'm extremely fortunate to be working with them. Next up on the returning sponsor is going to be the people keeping me safe, Avis Cycling. I started wearing Avis helmets last year and truly fell in love. For my head shape and me personally, they work great. They fit great. This is their Game Changer 2.0, their aero race helmet, and it's pretty much what I exclusively race in. It's fast, aero. For me, I've never had overheating problems. I think it's very well ventilated. So I'll pretty much only race in this, and then for training, I'll either wear the Game Changer or their Storm Chaser, which is a little bit more ventilated. So super hot training days, it's nice to have the Storm Chaser. But just like Envy, they have a lot of great things in the pipeline for 2026. They got a new gravel helmet that I debuted actually at UCI Worlds that I really loved. They also have the Airbreaker, the new Airbreaker coming out in the States. It's already in Europe, but it should be coming to the States here soon. So just overall, just super happy to work with them. They fit great, work great, and they're also an extremely safe helmet. They always rate super high in independent testing, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing is that your helmet's keeping you safe, and that's why I trust Avis and why I'm so happy to be working with them. All right, next up on the returning list is going to be, well, I guess another company, keeping me safe, keeping me fast. It's going to be Nopinz. So this is their hypersonic race suit that they came out with last year. This is actually my Pro Road National suit. Um, Typically, I wear their gravel suit, but I kind of wanted to show off the hypersonic line a little bit, as it's, in my opinion, and Wind Tunnel's opinion, the fastest kit in the world. So I've been working with Nopinz now since, damn, well, yeah, 2021. We started working with them with Team Speed, and um, in terms of the fastest kit in the world, Nopinz is undeniable. A lot of World Tour teams are still using their stuff unbranded because it's just that fast, it's that good. The quality has been great. The customizability has been great. I don't think there's a company in the world, truthfully, that allows for the customization and club shop opportunities that Nopinz does. What they do that's a little bit different than most people is when you do a custom order, a custom team design, they just create a shop and everyone's able to order themselves. There's no minimum orders. It's just everyone does it themselves. So you're ordering it no different than you would normal kit, which for me, I think is a great idea. I know there's a lot of teams out there or clubs that people just want to be able to just do it themselves, not worry about group orders, collecting money, this, that, the other, just order it themselves normally, and that's what Nopinz offers. They offer a wider range of items depending on the disciplines you're doing, whether you're a time trialist, triathlete, road cyclist, crit boy, gravel guy, just making up names at this point for these different disciplines. But yeah, they offer so many different products, and just it's been a pleasure to work with them. Like I said, this is my hypersonic suit that I've used in road racing, but primarily for gravel racing, I'm using their gravel suit, using the hypersonic or Pro 1 socks, and then their Tover shoes. That's been my go-to setup from them. And yeah, just absolutely love it. Absolutely love working with them. British company, so I know the tariff situation's definitely been a hot topic of discussion in the cycling world, and we're definitely working on ways to make that a little bit easier on the U.S. market. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But I do have a ambassador code through them, KK10, to get you 10% off. So it does help with the tariffs a little bit. But I definitely recommend reaching out to them if you are a team that wants a different options or wants a different option for your custom kit. I think once again, even though it's the fastest kit and that should sell itself, the team store and everything they do puts them just that much further above everyone else. So Nopinz for now the 5th year, super excited to be working with them. Next up on returning is going to be Vision Quest. So VQ Indy, if you guys don't know, is a performance and fitness center. They do a lot of performance testing and fitness classes for all different levels of athletes or just regular people. They do a lot of health testing. So for me, some of the services I use that are also great for the general public, DEXA scans, doing full body composition testing. They do Armour testing, so your base metabolic rate, so you can see how many calories you're burning just at rest. And then for some of the more performance-based stuff, you can do VO2 max testing and lactate testing. They offer that both running and cycling. So depending on the discipline you do, you're able to do lactate testing. And then for more group-based stuff, they also do cycling classes, morning, afternoon, night classes. If you don't want to just sit in your garage like me and train, they have I believe 10 bikes total, and they do classes 3+ times a day throughout the week that you can go do their group fitness. And like I said, yeah, they offer just a huge wide variety of services, whatever type of athlete you are, or just someone who's trying to fine tune their health and overall well-being. VQ has something for you. So I definitely recommend checking out their website, seeing what services they have to offer. There's going to be something on there that will fit your needs. So check out VQ Labs Indy. Hit them up, tell them I sent you, and just it's the new year, right? So new year, new me. Everyone's got those new resolutions. Why don't you head into VQ Labs, do some testing, see where you're at, see how you can improve, and gives you a great opportunity to take 2026 by the horns and make it a great year. Next up on the returning sponsors, I guess I could spin you guys around, show you the bikes. But it's going to be Bicycle Station, the bike shop down here in Columbus, Indiana. I'm sure everyone here has seen their YouTube and social media. Truthfully, a lot of my subscribers probably came from my appearance on their social media and their YouTube. So Bicycle Station, like I said, bike shop here in Columbus, Indiana. Also a media channel. But what they're really great about is their custom builds. Jesse and Trey and Chase over there have done an incredible job growing that business, and I think that the biggest thing for them is they're open, honest, and you can trust their opinions on something. If they're recommending or telling you to buy a product, it's because they truly believe it's one of the best on the market, and they have their full confidence in it, and they've probably ridden or tested it themselves. they offer so many different brands, so many different options for your build, and no matter what your needs or wants are, they're going to be able to fill them. And like I said, yeah, you can always trust them to give their open, honest opinion, and I think that's why they've grown so much, why people want to buy bikes from them, because once again, you know you're getting great products, you know you're getting a great deal, and they're cool guys and girls, Chase obviously, but yeah, it's just a great group of people, and it's been a pleasure working with them. Even before we had more of an official deal, they were always my go-to bike shop. They've been a staple in the Columbus and just Southern Indiana community here for years on years, even before Jesse and Chase took it over. Like I said, yeah, just great local shop. Great to work with them. Great to call them friends. Hopefully, I'll be more on their YouTube and more of their social media this year. I think we got some cool stuff planned throughout the year for videos. I'm sure people have seen the Trey versus Kyle battle, which we'll talk about more when we get into my race schedule at the end. But yeah, it's just been great working with them. And yeah, if you're interested in a custom build, obviously I'm going to recommend you build an ENVE, whether it's a Melee, Frey, or Mog. But truly, if you want any bike, they can get you pretty much any brand you want. So if you just want a custom build, reach out to them, reach out to Jesse, reach out to Trey, and yeah, they'll get you sorted. They'll get you a great bike. All right. And last up on my returning sponsors is going to be SLF Motion. Pawnee, Illinois company, so it's a local company for me, which I love being able to do. Love being able to work with some of the local brands here in the Midwest. But while they offer a wide range of accessories with like cage bolts, lock rings, all that stuff, their big market is bottom brackets, OSPWs. Last year I helped with the development of their SRAM transmission, OSPW, riding the prototype a lot last year, and then have been running their bottom bracket on the MOG all last year. And I think I've rebuilt it once, and it still runs good as new. All their ceramic stuff is great. The OSPW is great. They offer it for, I think at this point, every major group set. They recently came out with their Ceramic Explorer. They have it for transmission, regular SRAM, full Shimano, and then, like I said, yeah, they got all the other accessories with lock rings, bottle cages, stem caps, all that stuff. They have a wider range of accessories to fully pimp out a bike. And yeah, like I said, the products have been great. Been super blessed to be working with them. And much like a lot of the other companies I'm working with, they've got some awesome stuff in the pipeline for 2026. I know they're redesigning a lot of their bottom brackets, and just talking with Blake over at SLF, I think there's some really great things coming, some stuff that I really think should be used more, should be seen more in the industry. So I think once that stuff's out, it'll be definitely a big demand for. And then yeah, like I said, the bottom brackets have been awesome. The OSPWs, I think, especially with the transmission stuff, and just I guess I haven't ridden the Explorer too much, but just how the mountain bike and Explorer stuff usually is, the OSPWs just kind of make it a little bit crispier, and I think that's a huge benefit. And then same thing with the Shimano stuff. I think the Shimano stock pulley wheels are just not great, and I think that OSPW once again offers just a little bit crispier shifting, and two, it just spins so much better. Is it big gains? No, it's marginal gains, but I think if you have the means, it's definitely worth it. But that does not include the bottom bracket. I don't think the ceramic bottom brackets are a marginal gain. I think from Yeah, maybe from a watt standpoint it is, but from a durability and serviceability, compared to a standard steel, the ceramic stuff is much nicer, much easier to work on. So definitely put a ceramic bottom bracket in, if you have the means, and it should be an SLF. Like I said, great products, great company, great local company. U.S. based, made in the U.S., made in the Midwest. So check out SLF Motion. Give them a follow on their socials because, like I said, they got a lot of stuff coming out here in 2026 that you're not going to want to miss. All right, so that's going to be all my returning sponsors. And now we get into the new companies I'm going to be working with. So first off, pull out from my bag some of the product. We got Carbs Fuel. It's going to be my new nutrition sponsor. See if we can do a little gel spread here. So, look at all those gels. Look at all that carbohydrate. Look at all that energy. So, Carbs Fuel. I've been secretly using these for probably about a year now, and just have absolutely loved them. I am someone who gets a bit of flavor fatigue, so I like always having kind of a variety of flavors with me, but these are unflavored, and for whatever reason, that just worked for me. I don't really get tired of these. Even on the longest of days, I haven't really gotten too much flavor fatigue using them. What I like is that they are 50 grams. They do now offer a 25 gram one, which is nice because it gives you a little bit more flexibility. But for me, especially for racing, the 50 grams, super nice. Take 2 of these an hour, puts me right at about 100 grams, so puts you at exactly 100 grams. And for me, I usually aim maybe 100 to 120, maybe 130 if it's a really long race, but typically just 100 to 120. So for me, I could do 2 of these an hour, and then if I want a little bit more solid, whether it's like a bar or chews, that puts me right on target. And now I don't have any currently, just because I'm out of stock on them, but they offer the same 50 gram, but in a caffeinated version, and then also a salted version. So the caffeine, obviously great for racing intervals. I am a caffeine addict as I sit here with my coffee hiding from the video, but love my coffee, love my energy drinks. So having the caffeinated gels, super nice. And then too, they also have the salted gels, which is 450 milligrams of sodium. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 450 or 400. And for me, I'm about 8 to 850 milligrams per liter of sweat, which actually did my sweat testing at VQ Labs. So do your sweat testing at VQ Labs. But for me, if I'm racing and I don't have refeeds or have neutral feed, that's just going to be water, I can do 2 of those gels an hour, and it puts me at my sodium requirements, at my carbohydrate requirements. So it makes it just super easy. I know their gels are their big seller, but they also have drink mix, which, once again, unflavored, super easy on the palate. Just overall, I think the unflavored is kind of a nice option, because then you can also customize it too. Like the drink mix, you can customize the flavor. Obviously, the gels you can't, but the drink mix you can if you want to. The drink mix is also scooped, so you can customize the amount of carbohydrate you want, and then it also allows you to kind of customize the sodium levels too. And common theme, they also have some great stuff coming out here for 2026. They will have flavored gels, which they've talked about on their socials a little bit. And then they are also working on developing some other great products that I think people will love. I think what's really drawn me towards Carbs Fuel is Aaron and the full team there. They really take their time with bringing products to market. They don't want to put stuff out just to meet the different trends that a lot of these other companies are hopping on. If they're releasing a product, it's because it's the best that they truly believe it can be. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of nutrition companies out there. It can be hard to choose, but I've independently tested a lot of different stuff, and even when I wasn't sponsored by them, when I was sponsored by other brands, actually, I found myself using Carbs Fuel the most. So I'm glad to finally be working with them. And yeah, check them out on their website. They're available at the bicycle station. They're available at plenty of other online retailers. Also, they are the cheapest gel. That's their most important part. $2 a gel. When you got a lot of companies charging $3, $4, $5 for less carbohydrates, it's crazy. So it's the cheapest and it's the best. Carbs Fuel, check them out. Get ready for race season. Yeah. All right, next up on the new brands, Rex. So for those of you who don't know, Rex started as a ski wax company, and they've recently, in the past couple of years, ventured into the bike world and have gotten into the chain wax game. So this is going to be their black diamond wax. I don't typically wax my training chains, but for race chains, I'll always wax. And just in the testing I've done with the Rex stuff in the last couple of months, have really enjoyed it. I think compared to some of the other brands I've used, the durability, longevity is just as good, if not better, than any other brand. And the speed on it, it's definitely an extremely fast wax, and that's something that is obviously extremely important. So this is going to be their normal wax, and then for regular training, I love the drip wax. This is going to be their Black Magic wax-based drip lube. So for regular training, this is what I'll use. Super easy to reapply. You don't have to, be taking the chain off, cleaning it, all that you do for normal wax. So I'll just reapply this. In terms of hours, I'll usually do like every 6 to 8 or 9 hours of training. I don't know what that will come out to in miles or kilometers. I usually just base it off hours. But yeah, usually getting like 6 to 9 hours out of the Black Magic or the Black Diamond. Like I said, the longevity on it's been great. I think one of the funkiest things with it is it does dry white. Like it comes out white, and a lot of other wax does come out white, but it will dry to a darker color. This does dry white. That threw me off a lot the first time I used it. Just kind of a fun fact about it, but have absolutely loved their chain wax and chain lube products. And then they also offer some bike cleaning stuff. I got their bicycle wash here, just their general wash. As you can see, I've made a decent dent in since I've gotten it, which, considering how much trainer times I've used or I've been on, haven't had to wash the bike that much. So have really enjoyed the bicycle wash stuff. They got a couple other products that I've been using that have been great, and yeah, just super excited to be working with them. Like I said, much like the nutrition game, I think the wax world has gotten a bit oversaturated, but I do think Rex is really taking their time with the products they've developed and have done an extremely great job ensuring that they have a great product out in the market. And I have utmost confidence that the Rex wax and the drip wax is some of, if not the most durable and fastest products for my drivetrain. And yeah, just super excited to be working them this year. It's a industry or product type that I haven't had a sponsor with before, because I've liked to have the flexibility, but after testing their products and working with them, I'm fully confident that I'm working with the best company in that space. So I have no issues, no doubts having them as an exclusive partner. So Rex, Wax, check them out. Once again, Bicycle Station does have some of their products. So if you need their products, go to the Bicycle Station. So I've talked about this company before, as I started working with them before UCI Gravel Worlds, but that's going to be these inserts right here, the Tannus Armour inserts. I don't have them in a wheel set right now, as my MOG is somewhat in pieces. Just kind of working on tear down rebuild of that, so I don't have the inserts in right now because I don't really have tires on wheels. But the Tannus inserts, these are going to be their gravel specific inserts, and I've just been super happy with them. I've run other brands in the past that I felt were a little bit too bulky, a little bit too heavy. Yeah, in terms of safety, it's nice, but just the overall ride feel I didn't think was great. I think the Tannus inserts are a happy medium. Those are extremely light. You don't feel them too much while you're riding, which if you like a more natural feel, I think you'll love. But it does offer that added protection. And I do think for certain races, like UCI Worlds, where being in a group was extremely important, and you didn't want to have to stop and fix a flat, that is a great option for you. I think for races like Sea Otter coming up, where once again it's going to be too fast paced, you're not going to want to have to pull over and fix a flat right when you get it. So being able to have those inserts to get you safely to an area where you can fix a flat, I think super crucial. I've ridden on them flat, just testing them, and honestly, it was fine. So overall, I think if you're going to do inserts, Tannus is your best option. It's the perfect happy medium of light enough that you don't worry about weight or ride feel, but still sturdy enough that you're able to ride it flat and you're actually getting the protection that you need from an insert. So Tannus Armour, tire inserts, check them out. All right, last brand that I've been working with. Same thing, started working with them a little bit before Gravel Worlds, and that's going to be PB Swiss Tools. They're gracious enough to send me their multi-tool, which honestly, I love this thing. It's been perfect for not just on the bike, but also traveling. I've been traveling with my bike a lot more, and it offers a wider range of regular Allens, Torx, screwdrivers, and also has tire levers on this thing. So all you do is pull the 5mm out of here. It's got a little adapter to run the different bits, and then if you need to mess with your tires at all, it's got tire levers built in. So I've absolutely loved this thing. The quality on it's been great. All the PB Swiss Tools products are extremely high quality. As someone in their youngin' days who bought a bunch of cheap tools, it's dumb. Don't waste your money on cheap tools. Buy quality tools that will last, and brands like PB Swiss offer that ability. I believe this retails for 40 or 50 bucks, which is frankly a pretty good price for a multi-tool, especially with this much, this many bits, this much usage. Fits super nicely in a pocket. It's not as bulky as other ones. And like I said, I love that it has the 5mm with the adapter. Makes it a lot more compact, and also just easier to use because it just works like a normal Allen. So yeah, I've been able to work with them since about October. This was awesome to have in Europe to rebuild the bikes. It was awesome to have in Texas to rebuild the bikes after I flew in. So for both riding, for traveling, check out PB Swiss and their bike multi-tool. All right, so that's going to be all the brands I'm working with for 2026. Like I said, a lot of returning sponsors that I'm extremely excited to be working with, and then some great new ones that I think will be amazing additions to the program. And I think we've got a lot of great things on the horizon. So we'll get into my race schedule, which I'm going to pull out my cheat sheet because it's a little bit easier. There's not that many races, but sometimes it's easier to just have a list to work off of. So we'll start off with my main races, my A races, priorities, what races I'm focusing on the most for 2026. As I've said in previous videos, my main goal for 2026 is trying to do a wild card spot, trying to achieve that wild card spot for the Lifetime Grand Prix. And so with that, that means the big priorities early season for me are going to be Sea Otter in California in middle of April, and then Unbound at the end of May, beginning of June. Unbound, this will be my 5th year going, which sadly I did DNF 1 year, so this won't be my 1,000-mile club attempt. And there's not much to say about the 200. It's the lore of it is undefeated. So as always, excited to be going back to Unbound. But Sea Otter will be a new one for me. Haven't been out to that race before. Actually, haven't been out to California before, so excited to go check out Monterey and the San Francisco area. But yeah, early season, those are going to be my two big priorities. And then yeah, kind of have a pretty big lull in terms of priority races. Obviously, if I did end up getting in the Grand Prix, that does change the schedule a bit, but this is just kind of assuming that I'm not in the Grand Prix. So after Unbound, realistically, next major priority race for me is going to be Lauf Gravel Worlds in Nebraska in August. I've done that race every year I've raced gravel, and just keep going back to it, and it's gotten better every year. They put up a lot of prize money last year for the Pro Field, which was super cool, and I believe they'll be doing it again this year. It's a race that I don't like to miss. I think Lincoln's great. I think the race itself is awesome, and like I said, just a race I enjoy going to. After that, in September, I'll be going for gravel nationals, going for Stars and Stripes. I've done road nationals the last 2 years. This year, gravel nationals, kind of working the schedule. I would have liked to have done it in 2025, but it was just a bit too close to gravel worlds in Europe, and I just didn't want to have all that travel stress. So decided to skip it, and now have the opportunity to do it this year. So we'll be heading up to Wisconsin in September for nationals. And then lastly, end of the year banger, Big Sugar. Was super, super sad to miss it this year. The weather and shortening to the 50 mile made me feel a little bit better about not being there, but overall, it's still a bummer to not be there. So I'm excited to go back in October for that one. Bentonville's super fun. Big Sugar itself is super fun. I know they did a new course, so I'll be excited to see what that looks like. But traditionally, I think Big Sugar is the hardest race I do every year. I think like a race like Unbound, yes, the 200 miles is extremely difficult physically, but from a mental standpoint, the course does have easier sections that you can kind of mentally check out. Big Sugar doesn't have that. Like, yes, you have some road sections, but overall, like the gravel sections at Big Sugar are so difficult in my opinion, and you just have to be so locked in the entire time that it does drain you a bit mentally. And yeah, while it's only 100 miles, as I say, only 100 miles, yeah, it's 5 hours of just full mental focus, and that does drain on you a bit. But like I said, it's a ton of fun. The whole weekend's a ton of fun, so excited to be going back to Big Sugar. In terms of some of the other events that I will be doing, Dirty South Roubaix, I'll most likely go back to in March. It's a race I won last year, so I'll go back as the defending race winner early March. Good tune-up for Sea Otter to kind of see where the fitness is at. There's a couple other races in March that I might try to do just to stay tuned up for Sea Otter. I would love to go out to Mid-South, but I don't think it's going to work with my work schedule and everything. So probably no Mid-South. We'll probably try to just stick around the Midwest, do some races there throughout March to get ready for Sea Otter. Next up is going to be the Dust Bowl 100. In my opinion, the biggest, best race in the Midwest. Mark has done an incredible job just growing that race. Every year it grows and grows, it sells out, and it's a ton of fun. I think it has the most turns of any race I've ever done, but it's a cool race. It's for a local race, it's huge, and yeah, just an absolute blast. If you haven't registered for it already, it might actually be sold out. I think it is sold out. So if it is, join the wait list. Definitely a race if you're in the Midwest you don't want to miss. And then lastly, I haven't figured out which one of these I'm going to do. It'll be one or the other depending on how I feel Unbound or post Unbound. Either I'll go out to West Virginia for Road Nationals again, or I will head out to Utah for ENVE Rodeo again. Road Nationals is now after Unbound, so I feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. The double last year just wasn't the right move, but now that it is a couple weeks later, I've thought about it. But I did have so much fun at Rodeo. It's ENVE's just kind of like open house weekend, and they do a huge ride on Saturday. It's a ton of fun. Even if you don't own an ENVE, register, go out to Utah, tour the factory, do the ride. It's a ton of fun. Honestly, I'm just probably leaning towards Rodeo just because of how much fun it had, but I'll worry about that in June. And then to finish my schedule, 2 races that are not my traditional form of exercise are going to be running. If you know me, you know I hate running. The only exception is running with my mom. So actually at the end of January, my mom and I are going out to California to do the Disneyland Dumbo Dare. So it's a 10K and a half marathon. We've done the Dopey Challenge and the marathon in Disney World in the past, and my mom had surgery on her back early last year and it's been recovering, so we were trying to figure out something to have her look forward to, a race to get her going at, and we decided the Disneyland race will be a fun one. There's a ton of construction that's going to be starting there soon, so they're postponing races after this one for the next couple of years. So we kind of thought it was a good opportunity to go out to Disneyland and do those runs. So I'll be doing that. And then at the end of the year, post Big Sugar, I think we're planning on going back to Disney World and doing their Wine and Dine race, which is again, I think a 10 miler and a half marathon, or maybe a 10K and a 10 miler. I can't remember exactly. But either way, we'll go out to that to kind of end our season. She'll do the Chicago Marathon, and then I'll have Big Sugar. So the Wine and Dine will be kind of a fun way to end the season, gives an excuse to do Disney World, and then also do our Coast to Coast Challenge, which if you do a race over 10 miles at Disneyland and at Disney World in the same year, you do Coast to Coast. So that's what we'll be going for. So as a whole, that's going to be my 2026 race schedule. All right, so that is my 2026 plan program. This is probably a long one just because there was a lot to talk about with all the different brands, all the different races, but hopefully you guys stuck around to the end. Now that I'm back in Indiana for the next little bit, should hopefully be churning out a couple more videos here in the next few weeks. Just going through training. I'll do the Disney running prep, which considering the race is in like 3 weeks and I haven't run in months, probably should start running again. But yeah, plenty to talk about here in the next few weeks, plenty of videos to make. So I appreciate everyone who's followed along so far, who's subscribed so far, and who's stuck around for this very lengthy video. I'll wrap it up here now, but if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everyone for watching, everyone subscribing. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.